previously when Devangana and Natasha were given bail, the very same Delhi High Court, in fact, had written a very, on the exact same material, which is again, before the judges now. Of course, individual roles, etc., are obviously different for each of them. But looking at the charge sheet, etc., and I think we don't remember that order enough, especially today, when we know that there the Delhi High Court had categorically said that this is not a fit case for the invocation of the UAPA. And they had said that this definitely falls, what Nitya was also saying earlier, how we have criminalized dissent, but the way to do that was starting by criminalizing any kind of speech. So the Delhi High Court notes in that order, I don't remember, the exact words of the Delhi High Court, but they basically said that this is not a fit case for the invocation of the UAPA, and we should stay away from criminalizing dissent. So I don't want to go too much into the merits of all of the other individual cases and so on today, but I think that's an order worth remembering, because a judicial mind, a division bench of the Delhi High Court, no less, had examined all of that material which was there in the charge sheets and had come to a general view. So I think that's one thing I want to say. And the other quick thing that I want to compare it with is that, this is essentially a riots cases, and I have a little bit of experience working on communal violence. And I think this is probably the first instance where a terror charge has been brought against the accused. We've seen heinous riots in this country, starting from Delhi to the anti-Sikh violence that happened in Delhi, to also, the Bhagalpur riots in '89, Gujarat, and so on. And in none of those cases was the UAPA invoked. So definitely this is a pattern that has happened very recently. We've all seen it, in the last 10 years. Where earlier, again, I think Nitya was referring to that, where she said that basically they were using 124A, I think Nitya aap yahi bolna cha rahi thi, or I'm just putting words into your mouth, but that basically that sedition was the charge. In fact, Shah Rukh and I were in a case together where, they criminalized, and sedition was the one where it was very difficult to get bail actually. And again, sedition, the charge of sedition was being used to criminalize dissent, I think even in 2016, when the Kanhaiya case and all of that happened. And Binayak Sen, of course, again. And then slowly, I think, because, I think either the courts were not doing enough or nothing was happening, or maybe the courts were doing something and releasing these people. They thought we need to bring something more stringent. And that shift, where you are invoking UAPA suddenly in these cases where, I guess anyone who look at the charge sheet will say that this invocation is actually, quite an unfair invocation, started happening. And I think the last 7-8 years, we've seen many cases where journalists, etc., in smaller towns also, with, obviously much lesser resources, etc., to be able to fight these legal battles, have been slapped with UAPA. So I think the crux of it is that the invocation of UAPA in some cases is of course extremely unfair. And it's been done with a particular purpose. It's only been done because in sedition also the courts had started to give bail. So how do we stop that?
ये कुछ और ढूंढते, ये कोई इशू ऐसा ढूंढते जिस पर ये डिस्टर्बेंस करते, डिस्ट्रप्शन करते. So the problem is not that they were protesting against the CAA. The problem is that they're ideologically predisposed towards violence. And the state provides nothing to substantiate that charge. But that is the charge against them. And the fact that they are Muslims is played over and over again. And that is again the political narrative bit of it. But very quickly, I want to return to both Varisha and Nitya. आप दोनों ने वटाली वाले केस में काम किया है, और अब हमेशा या तो वटाली की बात होती है या वर्नन गोंजाल्विस की बात होती है. ये कहा जाता है कि कोर्ट के पास 2 प्रेसिडेंट्स हैं, हमेशा गलत प्रेसिडेंट क्यों चुनता है. और वैसे ही नजीब, जिसमें ये कहा गया है कि अगर कोई विदाउट ट्रायल 5 साल 6 साल से जेल में है तो भाई उसको छोड़ दो. They will face trial, but let them go. मगर दूसरे प्रेसिडेंट्स हैं, गुरविंदर है, कोर्ट हमेशा गलत प्रेसिडेंट क्यों चुनता है? But even their bail is also at the same stage. It's a systemic problem. I mean, other than that, it's a systemic problem. The other systemic thing is that we don't have a jurisprudence of remand. सबको बेल के लिए जाना होता है, बेल का jurisprudence है, मगर अगर कोई बेल के लिए खुद न जाए, कोर्ट अपनी तरफ से उसको क्यों नहीं रिमांड दे सकता है? हमारे यहाँ रिमांड का रिवाज ही नहीं है, रिमांड की प्रैक्टिस नहीं है, दूसरे jurisdictions में है.
As the law stands, it's for the judge concerned, either the magistrate or a special court, to decide whether further detention of any kind is necessary or not. It is that we have to build it into the discourse that power is there. It does not mean if you're arrested, you can only give police custody or judicial custody or bail. The court may just think further detention is unnecessary. In fact, I've said it many times, I've written about it also. So that has to be instilled, as Varisha said, by arguing it before a court. It takes time, but that has to be brought into it. There was something else I wanted to say, but if I remember, I'll say I've forgotten just now. Yeah, remand. So for remand, you see now this UAP, I tell you, the text of the law has actually, the beating criminal jurisprudence has taken because of this kind of, first ADA, then POTA, then this law. It is the remand, you're absolutely right. At that stage, the accused is entitled to know what is it that is making the court send that person to custody. That's part of your Article 21 rights. But they keep things secret. They do not, case diary of course cannot be shown to the accused, but the accused does not even know what is the basis on which continued custody is sought. Also because there is a provision that beyond 180 days under UAPA, without a charge sheet, you cannot be kept in custody. If that is to be extended when the prosecution asks, then the prosecution has to justify continued detention by explaining the reasons to the court. There have been judgments saying, but the accused is not entitled to that report. They've conflated, some judgments have conflated with the case diary, but something which is extraordinary, which is extending custody even beyond what is permitted by the extraordinary statute. The reason if the accused does not know, how will the accused challenge it? So there are many other aspects of the text of the law itself that have to be addressed and which make it very, very difficult unless it's a crusading judge to overcome it. So let us not underestimate the nature of this law, which is completely unacceptable to any system that is governed by principles of justice.
I'll give Colin the last word. Will you close it for us? I also wanted to ask you, what do you think are the political, what is going to be the political impact of this long incarceration in this case?
I don't know if I'll close it or open up some more questions actually. Look at all these guys. Look at all a terrorist by very nature, you will instill fear in the government. Sarkar, Bharat Sarkar ko dabane ka koshish karega. How? By weapons, by force. Lekin you look at all their charge sheets. Nobody had even a chaku in his hand. No AK-47. No bomb, no drone. Nothing. So how did this Sarkar, Modi Sarkar, how did he manage to get for 5 years people जिसके पास कोई हथियार नहीं था, जिन्होंने किसी के ऊपर आक्रमण नहीं किया, उसको जेल में रखा? Our loved people, these are our loved friends. So why did they use terrorism law against them? Terrorism का मतलब नलिनी का केस में जिन्होंने राजीव गांधी को they did a bomb attack on Rajiv Gandhi. Supreme Court said terrorism means नॉट इंडिविजुअल अटैक वगैरह वगैरह, लेकिन भारत सरकार को हिलाने का कोशिश किया, दबाने का कोशिश किया बाय यूज ऑफ वायलेंस. यूज ऑफ वायलेंस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर टेररिज्म. और आखिर में द 3 जज बेंच सुप्रीम कोर्ट नलिनी का केस, राजीव गांधी पुअर पर्सन गॉट किल्ड, और उसके आसपास 9 लोगों को मर्डर हो गया, डेथ हो गया. एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट से दिस इज नॉट यूएपी, दिस इज नॉट टाडा टेररिज्म, क्योंकि इनका कोई दुश्मनी नहीं था भारत सरकार से. वे है दुश्मनी से राजीव गांधी से, व्यक्तिगत दुश्मनी. सो इट इज नॉट एन अटेम्प्ट टू ओवरथ्रो द स्टेट. कैन यू इमेजिन with a bomb, 9 people dying? It is not terrorism. And here we have our friends. No bomb, no weapon, nothing. And they are in jail. Why? What is the best weapon that we have? What is the greatest weapon that they have, which the Indian government understands, which NIA understands best? Our mind, our tongue, our heart, our determination that we will not allow injustice in India and in the world. We have the best weapon. They understand us, that we are not worried about knife. Indian army, Indian police is a very powerful armed force in the world. They are not bothered. तुम्हारे पास AK-47 और यू थ्रो सम बॉम्ब, इससे कोई मतलब नहीं होता है. लेकिन योर आइडियाज की इंडिया में परिवर्तन होना कैसे, अन्याय के खिलाफ हमें करना क्या, और ये एकदम मजबूत जैसे सरकार, जैसे मोदी जी सरकार दिखाई दे रहा है, उसको गिराने का तरीका क्या होता है. नॉन वायलेंट गिराने का तरीका कैसे, लोगों के बीच में जाना, अपने विचारधारा फैलाना, give revolutionary thoughts to people. Revolutionary matlab not gun. Revolutionary matlab how to resist. आखिर तक fight back. That's all. That's what we are here facing. We have come here only for that. We have come here only. And one last thing I want to say. Today also in the Supreme Court, Shabir Shah's case was there. I don't know, many of you will know. 32 years in jail. 32 years. Not a single conviction. Kept for 32 years. Can you imagine? And why? Because he is the Lion of Kashmir. What does he speak? ये नहीं कहता है कि तुम बम फेंको, ये करो, वो करो, हमें पाकिस्तान चाहिए, ये नहीं बोलता है. What does he say? सिर्फ साथियों, तुम्हारा दिल में जो दुख है, I understand the pain in your heart, उसी के बारे में. I understand you lost your son, you lost your daughter, we lost our beautiful Kashmir today is gone, we lost our whatever, statehood, everything. He's only talking about the pain in the heart of Kashmiris. That's all. 32 years in jail. This is a government, my dear friends, worse than the British. Worse than the British. And we will have to fight this government, always I say, by non-violent means. But we'll have to fight this government, every one of us. And these persons who are behind us are the leaders of the movement.